Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to try something a little different. We are going to build an entire story with a beginning, a middle, and an end using just 6 really powerful vocabulary words. It's kind of like a challenge, but it's the perfect way to see how much a single, precise word can really accomplish. So how is that even possible? How can a whole story fit into just 6 words? Well, that's really the magic of finding the perfect word. Each one we're going to look at today is like a building block, a scene, an entire feeling all wrapped up in one. And by the end of this, you'll see exactly how they all snap together to paint one pretty vivid picture.
All right, let's dive into Act 1. Our story kicks off with an idealist who is brand new to this massive, sprawling city. We're catching them at that exact moment where they're trying to take it all in for the very first time.
Okay, so picture this. You step off a bus right into the heart of the city for the first time, and bam, you are hit by a literal wall of sound. You've got horns blaring, people shouting over each other, construction clanging away, sirens wailing somewhere off in the distance. It is a total assault on the senses. You know, there is a perfect word for this exact experience: cacophony. And it's not just noise. No, it's a chaotic, harsh, totally jarring mix of sounds. It's the true soundscape of a big city just hitting you all at once. This quote just puts you right there in our character's shoes, doesn't it? That feeling of being totally, completely overwhelmed by the sheer volume and chaos of traffic. That is a cacophony. So, as the ears start to, adjust a little bit, the eyes start to take things in, and what they see is a city of extremes. A sleek glass skyscraper right next to a centuries-old brick church. A shiny luxury car parked beside a dented old food cart. Everywhere you look, it's a city of contrasts. And this visual clash, this tension, it has a name: juxtaposition. It's a fantastic word for when you place two totally different things right next to each other, specifically to highlight how different they are. This is exactly it. This is what our character is seeing. That striking, kind of jarring effect of old slammed up against new. So now we've got a cacophony for the ears and a juxtaposition for the eyes. So all of this sensory overload, the cacophony, the juxtaposition, it starts to have an emotional effect. Their mind starts to drift away from the present, back to somewhere quieter, more familiar. Maybe a small hometown, a childhood memory, just a time that felt simple. And that feeling, oh, it definitely has a name: nostalgia. It's that bittersweet ache for a time that's gone. It's not just remembering the past, it's feeling this deep, sentimental longing for it. And this right here, this is the first real turning point in our character's inner journey. You know how this works, right? It's like how hearing one old song can instantly transport you back 10, 20 years. For our character, the intensity of the city is what triggers this powerful wave of nostalgia. Physically, they're standing on a city street, but emotionally, they are retreating into the past. And now, Act 2. That nostalgia, it doesn't just stay a feeling. Nope, it sparks an idea. It becomes a mission. And this is the part of the story where our idealist runs smack into the hard wall of reality. Fueled by this nostalgia for what they remember as a better time, our idealist decides they are going to fix the city. They're going to bring back community, quiet the noise, and fight against this relentless pace of modern life. It's a really grand, noble idea. And there is a perfect word for it: quixotic. It comes from the story of Don Quixote, the guy famous for fighting windmills he thought were giants. It describes a mission that's incredibly idealistic and full of good intentions, but also completely unrealistic. Think about this example for a second. A quest to end world hunger is one of the most admirable things you could do, right? But the sheer scale makes it quixotic. Our character's quest to fix an entire city? Just as noble, and yeah, just as impractical. And here's the tragic turn. As our idealists start sharing these big, quixotic plans, people don't get inspired. They don't rally behind them. Instead, they see them as naive, maybe a little strange, even kind of annoying. And so people start to pull away. So What happens is they get ostracized. This is our fifth word, and it describes the act of pushing someone out of a group. It's not just being ignored, it's being deliberately, actively excluded. This quote just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it? The irony is brutal. Our idealist, who probably came to the city looking for connection, is now being pushed away because of their well-intentioned but unpopular mission.
Being ostracized usually isn't some big dramatic showdown. More often, it's a slow burn, an unanswered text message here, a conversation that suddenly stops when you walk into the room there. It's this gradual pileup of tiny little harms that really starts to wear a person down.
And our final word is the absolute perfect adjective for this type of damage: pernicious. A pernicious harm is one that works subtly, sneakily, over time. It creeps in. You might not even notice the full extent of the damage until it's already done.
Wow, this is such a powerful modern example. The harm from social media usually isn't from one single post, right? It's the slow, creeping, pernicious effect of constant comparison. And in that same way, being ostracized has this pernicious effect on our idealist. And that's our story. A cacophony of sound and a juxtaposition of sights sparked a deep nostalgia. That nostalgia led to a quixotic mission. For that mission, our idealist was ostracized, which caused a slow, pernicious harm. See? 6 words, one whole story. So there they are, your 6 new tools. Each one of these gives you a much sharper, more precise way to talk about the world. Everything from the sounds and sights around you to the ambitions and emotions deep inside you. But really, the real power here isn't just knowing the definitions, is it? It's about using them. It's about seeing the world and the stories happening all around you with more clarity and detail. So I'll just leave you with this one question. You have the words now. What story will you tell?